What's up, guys? This is Titan Lifestyle. It's Friday. We're back 2 p.m. every week, Eastern time for all you people in Cali and the Midwest. With my brother from another mother.
My man.
Happy to get it going. Titan events, Q&A, therapy of the week, and my favorite part, topics, like we do every week. So let's get all the screens up and rolling, see who's on, give some shout-outs.
Oh, yeah. Getting everybody on. I see it going out as we speak.
A lot of craziness going on in fitness right now.
Big time.
Craziness going on in fitness, craziness going on in health, craziness with the FDA, a lot of crazy stuff going on right now.
This is so true.
I see one of the new things, it's not one of the topics, but what they're doing now is the coloring, how they're outlawing certain coloring, they're giving it a different name.
Yes.
So like red number 40 will be like some long name that you can't pronounce or you don't know what it is. So be careful, people look at the labels.
Definitely be careful.
They'll get caught for doing that eventually.
Absolutely.
But I mean, it's kind of like the old products where they have a pre-workout. It becomes too dangerous. They change one molecule and then they re-release it and it's still dangerous. So same thing with the dyes. That's probably that you got to be careful. So
you just got to watch out what you're eating. I mean, I think things will start changing here, but they haven't changed yet. Yeah. So you still got to be very cautious about what you're eating. Be more educated about what you're eating. I mean, that's a big thing. Like, I don't think people even really care to some extent. I mean, unless they're in our industry or they're more conscious, they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care. As long as it tastes good or whatever it is, like, they're just going to eat it or drink it, and that's it. It's just, at that point, like, you got to make some decisions. Yeah. If you want to be healthier, you want to lose weight, you want to get a good body, I mean, you got to do the right things. And if you haven't been doing the right things, you need to take that much time to start doing the right things to really get really good results. I mean, really good results. If you haven't been eating good for 20 years and haven't worked out in 20 years, don't think 90 days you're going to be like stellar, right? You're going to make some great progress probably, but you're not going to be like...
Or even the blood work, even the inside takes a little bit of time to go. If you've been filling your body with trash, your digestive system, your stomach, esophagus, everything that involves the whole eating digestive process, like just like what John said, 30, 60, 90 days may not be enough.
Right.
You may need to start eating greens or doing whatever you could do to slowly start filtering everything out.
Yep.
Slow race always wins. So
it's
especially
true.
when it comes to building muscle or getting your body healthy, a lot of people become impatient.
Yeah.
Impatient people, we'll talk about it later. Those are the people that get into dangers and health problems.
Absolutely.
But slow and steady. That's why TRT is one of the best things. It's a slow, steady.
Yep.
You can monitor everything. And one thing with the whole food thing, even though it's not one of our topics, one of the food things is people always talk how bad it is in this country because they put all this crap in the food and it's bad. But we're lucky enough to be able to see what's in the food.
Right.
I mean, just imagine if we didn't have a food label and all it said was chips or soda or meat or chicken. And we didn't have any type of, we have to basically go off of the company name and then do our research to figure out the ingredients. It doesn't matter what the product is. At least we're lucky enough to look at the label and see what's in there. So there really is no excuse. I mean, pretty much everybody that could read or write, not even write, read. As long as you could read, then there's no excuse. You know what you're putting in your body. It's just a matter of knowing, turning the label around to the back and seeing. Like John said, people don't want to know.
Right.
I was one of the same people. I didn't want to know. As long as the mirror's looking good, I don't care. As long as I'm getting my protein and my macro, it doesn't matter. But now it's like, nah.
Yeah.
That's only going to last so long. Genetics and metabolism and age, they only last for so long. You got to clean it up eventually.
You got to have the two big C's. You got to be care, and you got to be consistent. Yeah. And doing consistency in the right things. Because if you do wrong things consistent, you're just going to have a worse result. Yeah. So it's all about being consistent in what you do. And that's a progressively over time thing. That's not a 1 day, 1 week, 1 month thing. It's talk about consistency. It's every single day. Yeah. And it's tough for people to have consistency like that. But
or even if you patience too. I think patience is the main thing. I mean, people are consistent, and but after a while they're just looking like, man. They look at the calendar, look at the scale. They're like, I'm tired of this. You got to stick with it. Like, what was that ESPN announcer used to say, stick-to-itiveness?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Who was that?
He used to, it was like a basketball, announcer. He used to be like, oh, he's got good stick-to-it. Basically means don't give up. Yeah. Don't give up on your body, just keep on going. It will take, a lot of times people can get in shape, depending on how out of shape they are, 30, 60 days, the mirror can change. Right. Some people eat and work out every day, and they see no change in the mirror. That takes a different type of person to be able to just have faith in the process and keep on pushing. Because, you go to the gym, work out for 2 hours, you eat healthy all day. The next day, you don't see any type of results. You see no benefits. You have to have faith. Just like I tell my clients, have faith in the process and just keep on going, and the results will come.
And here's the big thing. If you are doing all the right things over time, you're not seeing any change. There might be something that's going on inside. And this is where blood work, a full in-depth panel from us, we can check out and see what's going on. And there might be some things that are off. Maybe it's hormones. Maybe it's something that we can change. We can be able to optimize. And that way you can start really getting a result. Even if you're looking for something as far as expediting results, weight loss, whatever it may be, we have some different therapies that can fill that gap, get you an expedited result, or make you feel a lot better than what you are. So at that point, there's so many different things. But if you're needing a guide, blood work would probably be one of those things that you want to add in there to be able to see the full picture of what's really going on and what can really get you the result like that you're looking for. Yeah. Obviously, training, eating correctly, sleeping, drinking water. These are the 4 pillars that you should be doing no matter what. But at that point, you got to be able to, and training correctly and eating correctly, not just eating or just doing some sort of activity, but really focusing on what's going to be the best for you.
We got Tony says he can't hear us. How's the audio now, Tony? Can you hear us a little bit better now?
Tony Lima, what up, bro?
Tony Lima.
It's my dude. Teddy bear.
Also, too, to go in more depth, what John was saying with the blood work is it's not just about how you look. A lot of times people look great, especially bodybuilders, competitive bodybuilders. They look great. They look the best they've ever looked. They're having compliments from everybody every day. Yep. So that pushes them to do whatever they're doing to keep their body that way. But you could look great on the outside. Your body could go to crap on the inside. You could literally be walking on your last, what do they call it, living your last days.
Yep.
Looking great on the outside. But, you can't go off the compliments you hear what people say every day because it's addicting. You want to be shredded. You want to be in shape all the time. And, it's not like you're doing a hardcore drug. If you're doing a hardcore drug, you're doing the drug. You're getting skinny. You're looking withdrawals. You get dirty. You get ashy. You get... everyone's saying you look a mess. You need to stop doing that. When people are doing stuff to their bodies, whether it's over the table, over the counter, under the counter, whatever they're doing, they're going to the extreme. So every day, even though their body may be experiencing like severe health problems, every day they're getting compliments. You look great. You look great. So they're like, whoa, I look great. I look great. So they don't realize the problems that it's causing. So the more compliments people get, the more they're just going to push the envelope. And, you got to... Blood work is everything. Everything.
It really is.
Everything. You can look great and literally be about to croak.
I mean, how many people have croaked? Yeah. That looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
Over the last
people I've known personally.
4 or 5 years, man.
It's been. Yeah.
I mean, people die all the time or have renal failure that look amazing, right? Yeah. And it's not all about what you look on the outside. It is about the inside too, and that will reflect on the outside. So it's something that you should be working on internally, and externally that will start working right along with it. And you start looking better. And like I said, feel better, look better, perform better.
Exactly.
That's why I said those 3 things.
That's like the Titan slogan. It really is, because you can't have one without the other two. No. They all go hand in hand.
They do.
And it's not just about bodybuilding and working out. You could be doing something that's taxing on your body for 20 years and no one could tell from the outside.
Right.
Just like you could be doing a hardcore drug. You could be doing other stuff. You could be an alcoholic. You could have kidney failures, other stuff because of other stuff you're doing. So, again, blood work, especially men, blood work.
Blood work.
Even if you don't want to tell anybody, you just go get it done just so you know.
Yeah, there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's like, we don't like to get checked. I could have a broken arm. Well, I'm all right, It's just the men mentality. We need to get better at that.
And, girls and guys alike, some girls and guys, they don't care and they'll tell people, and some people get embarrassed or, they don't want to tell people what's really going on. And the only way that we can really help is if somebody's very honest with us. I have a husband and wife that's been with us for 8 years. Husband calls me up, says, "Hey, John," he goes, "Wife doesn't know I'm calling you. She had her visit, a couple weeks ago, and she's been dieting really, really hard, and she's been doing everything right, and, she hasn't really lost that much weight." So we start going through. I'm like, "Well, what'd she say on her visit?" And she's like, "Everything's fine." I'm like, listen, you got to tell her to at least be a little honest. Like, if things aren't going well, then we need to know so we can start changing things up. Maybe start looking and digging a little bit more into the subject. And we did. And at that point, we're gonna hook her up and get her all taken care of. But it's really about being honest with the provider about what you're really going through or what you're experiencing. So we can take that information and be able to triage it correctly and then put you on a program or tweak some different medication or dosages or whatever it may be. You know, it's a major thing. So be honest with yourself. You don't have to live a low quality of life. You have options these days,
exactly.
right? And improving your well-being and self-confidence and all these different things that go along with it. So it's really up to you to make the first step and call or text us or start looking into these different things for yourself.
It's also important to be honest what you're doing, because when the blood work comes back, if you say, oh, I've never done this, but your blood work is showing that it looks like you've been abusing that, then it may be misdiagnosed, because, the proof is in the test. You can't come in here and say, I've never taken testosterone and get a 2,000 milligram or 2,000 level testosterone.
It's true.
It's just not going to work like that. So, I mean, it's almost like, you got caught on camera stealing something and you're sitting there waiting to see what they're going to say. But they're going to check the camera anyways, so it's like you might as well just say, yes, I took it, because you have a camera. The blood work is the proof, so you can't come in here and it's hilarious.
You can't hide from it.
Yeah, because I've even heard friends of mine in the past. Now, as soon as they say it, they're like, oh, here goes Drew. Yeah. I'll give them a whole speech about it.
Yeah.
But I've even had friends before where they're like, yeah, I have to go get my blood work done. I need to do this, and before I go, and this. I'm like, what? Like, why not just go just to see where you're really at?
Right.
You don't have to study for the test.
Right.
Like, you should be able to just wake up, whether it's fasted or not, and go.
Yeah.
Because when you start doing that, when you start altering stuff just to get your blood work, then you don't really know where you're at.
Right.
And then it's like, then you fall into another path because you're temporarily getting everything clear to start to do it again. And then it's just, you go farther and farther back to become
you
optimal.
regress.
Yeah. So
that's a big thing. And like, I've got a really funny story. So guy comes to us, older guy. I know him really well. You know who he is. And he's like, I want to come on a program. I'm like, no problem, right? I'm like, we get your blood check first. I'm like, so I know the guy has ran testosterone in the past or whatever. I'm not stupid. He knows I know. It's all good. But at that point, I'm like, listen, are you off? Right? Have you not been taking testosterone? No, I'm off. I'm like, perfect. We'll run the blood today. We'll get a baseline and we'll get you all set up and get you rocking and rolling. Blood comes back over 1,500. I go, bro, you told me you were off. He goes, 250 milligrams is off.
No.
I'm like, that's higher than some of the TRT doses that patients get here, right?
200 milligrams of you're more than yeah.
So it was just funny. It was just funny. And we started laughing about it after. I was like, listen, man, I was like, for us to help you like that, you got to go off. Off.
Yeah.
And at that point, then we can get you a baseline, and then we can get you set up, and then you'll never have to worry about it again.
250
off, I'm like,
it's crazy because people don't actually say those words off, but I hear that almost daily. I'm not doing anything right now, just 200 milligrams a week. That's enough.
I'm like, what?
You're all set. You don't need anything.
Right?
All I'm doing right now is just one shot a week of testosterone. I'm like, well, then that's pretty much the same thing that we would do.
Yeah.
So you might as well just come through us and get it monitored if you're going to only do that anyways.
Very simple, very easy to do, guys. Christian Dor, what's going on? Ask him what's going on. How you guys doing out there? Yeah, we got some people up here. All right, so hopefully you guys can hear us. Hopefully TikTok picks up. We usually get a really good response from TikTok. So
yeah, I'm surprised.
We'll keep talking here, and I'm sure if you guys have any questions, shoot them out to us, and we'll talk it up. Otherwise, I think we should get into maybe one of the topics, Drew. If you want to get a new topic, or I'll get into mine.
First topic was one of my topics was female bodybuilder. Another death this weekend, like what we were talking about earlier. Last weekend it was a powerlifter. She passed away because of an accident. The bar fell on her.
Yep.
Rest in peace to her. But this different type of death. She was a bodybuilding coach, only 20 years old, Jodi Vance.
Yep.
She died after a heart attack caused by severe hydration. That's what her family says. So apparently that's what the doctors are saying. Severely dehydrated. If you could scroll down a little bit. Yep. But yes, only 20 years old. She's a coach. I'm not sure how long she's been coaching. I mean, she's only 20.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to bodybuilding, it's first of all, it's unfortunate we lost another person, especially such a young lady.
Yeah,
20 years old. I mean, she's not even old enough to drink yet.
No.
But people that don't know bodybuilding, they have to really be careful. In terms of listening to people just because it's a coach. I mean, if you're 20, and take it like this: if you were a professional basketball player, a professional football or baseball player, or volleyball player, or gymnastics, would you hire a 20-year-old coach that has only been doing it for a few years?
She's not a pro. She don't have any certification.
I don't know if a lot of times people will enter a show, and just because they entered a show, they may win a regional show, and then now they say they're a coach. It's a whole nother show. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, be careful. Apparently, I'm assuming she was coached by someone else, because a lot of these coaches, they still have coaches. Yeah. So people that aren't familiar with bodybuilding, a lot of bodybuilders, even pros, they have coaches. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're retired. Maybe they have a history of working with people. Yep. But yeah, severe dehydration. Usually this happens before people do a show, or while they're doing a show. They won't drink any water for a couple of days. They'll take, illegal diuretics and stuff like that to make them flush out all the water. Some people do the sauna thing. Some people do all. Some people do injectable Lasix, which is really, really dangerous. Wow. Really dangerous. And again, when you're taking these diuretics, and I'm not assuming she took a diuretic at all. It says dehydration. She could have just been dehydrated from dieting too hard. But if you are taking a diuretic, diuretics are not intended for people that are already dehydrated and already have low body fat and already almost too lean.
They're in deficiency in everything.
Yeah, they're in deficiency in everything. So if you take a diuretic, if someone's going to take a diuretic, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm not recommending anybody do this, but usually a diuretic is given to someone who's severely overweight, like 100, 200 pounds, that has extreme edema, which means they have fluid in their ankles, and there's just so much water the water itself is almost killing the person. So they have to get rid of the water.
That's right.
And then when those people get rid of that water, they're still overweight, they're still holding more water, and they still have body fat to be able to sustain the water loss. Yep. And they're hydrating as they're flushing water out of their body. They have a saline IV, or they're taking in water. So it's like a flush, but they're still being dehydrated. Now, when you have no body fat, you haven't drank any water for a couple days, and then you take one, now you're going to the extreme. So I'm not saying that diuretics are bad. They are prescribed for certain people that use them. They're abused in bodybuilding. Usually when people die during bodybuilding shows, whether they're competing or not, it's because of a diuretic. It's not because they were taking testosterone or something like that. It's usually a diuretic. It's usually dehydration or heart failure right around the showtime. Just like I said earlier, you could look extremely healthy and be looking in the greatest shape of your life, but literally your heart could be about to stop. And that's exactly what happened, 20 years old. So,
listen, this is what she died from. She was taking MPP. Her coach said it.
Oh, yeah.
I read it, and he said, Justin Milholly, who was Vance's coach, said she was taking 2 extremely hazardous substances to improve her physique. When I read about this earlier, it was MPP was one of them.
Yeah, wait, you said NPP or DNP?
DNP, excuse me.
Yeah, DNP. Yeah, DNP it was actually made, it's a chemical in wood dye. Yeah. And it actually literally melts fat off of you, but it literally also can kill you, which it has in the past. It looks like it did here.
This and
but yeah, I mean MP. That's really dangerous.
It's a killer
DNP is the most dangerous thing you could take. Literally the most dangerous thing you could take. It's not even made for people. I've heard of people taking it and their body gets so hot where his wife had to fill up the tub with ice and he was in there feeling like he's gonna die. Yeah. That's not. Come on now. That's just too much. Yeah. And it wouldn't go away. He said it couldn't. It wouldn't go away. I was sitting in the tub. My wife just kept bringing in ice from the fridge and just kept dumping in buckets of ice, and it was like, I'm hot. Come on now. That's too much. But yeah, DNP is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and 20 years old, right? This girl can't even drink, but she's doing illegal drugs.
Wow, that's bad.
And that's the thing. I love the fitness industry. I love the bodybuilding thing. What I don't like is there's so many uncredible people running around telling people to take certain drugs, and they have no knowledge of this shit. They don't. It's really upsetting to me that I see this, and it's not one time. This happens all the time. You just don't hear about it as much. It's happening. It's happening year after year after year after year. Huge pros dying. All right? And at that point, some of these people are my friends, and I don't want this to happen to anybody else. And I don't want anybody else's kid to get messed up by somebody that's coaching them, too, as well. 20-year-old girl's dead. I'm not blaming this on the coach, but at that point, like, somebody had to introduce her to these things, right? Or you take these things.
Yeah, usually everybody, and people that don't know bodybuilding, very few people do a bodybuilding show, even if it's their first one, without some type of coach.
Right.
Every once in a while, you'll see a guy or a girl, oh, I did my own prep. Oh, really? Yeah, I just did my own meals. Okay. All power to them. But a lot of times, it's known in bodybuilding, oh, you're going to do a show, you got to get a coach.
Right.
And then there's like a list of, quote, reputable coaches.
Right.
And then all they do is just get the email, take this, okay. And they don't even question it, you know. They can, and they may Google search what it is, and they may ask their coach, hey, I read that this, oh, don't worry about it, you'll be fine. Like, they're trusting this person with their life.
Yes.
Because that's what happens. Like, wait a minute, DNP, I've never heard of this. What is this? They ask their friend, oh, I've never heard of it. They ask someone else, that's too dangerous. They Google search it, oh, it is used in bodybuilding, but they don't look at all the deaths and, you know.
All the problems.
Yeah.
Negative side effects.
Getting too lean. Like, you don't hear about, one thing you have to realize is you don't hear about strong men and you don't hear about powerlifters dying during the powerlifting meet or the strongman competition.
Yeah.
Because they're not putting themselves, so even though they're taking all kinds of food and creatine and they're loaded with muscle and, you know, TRT and MK, whatever they're doing, they're not so lean that they're like dangerously, you know, about to die. So bodybuilding is an extremely dangerous sport for people that don't know who it is. It is really not any money in it, to be honest.
There's no money in it.
There's not money in it unless you're like Derek Lunsford.
Right.
Or unless you're, you know.
If you're Mr. Olympia.
If you're top 5.
Yeah.
Then there may be money in it, but even the guys that are top 5 or even top 10, their money may be coming from other stuff, whether it's YouTube, or, you know, they may be monetizing their stuff. It's not coming from a check from a bodybuilder.
Absolutely not. So, you win some of those shows as a pro,
yeah,
with $10,000. I mean, how much money do you think they stick in their body, just alone, food wise?
A month that would be
a food, gear.
Yeah.
I mean, at tanning, you're talking about the suit, like
the flight,
the hotel, like
then, you know,
it adds up, man.
The packaging for the meals to take with you, and then the ladies have to get the hair, the makeup. The suits are like $2,000 for a suit, and then all the rhinestones and unnecessary. Yeah, it becomes expensive. So I saw a girl last year at the Tampa Pro, which was coming up to Tampa Pro this year, Titan's official sponsor. But I saw a girl last year. She came from Alaska. And she competed in NPC. No, she did IFBB or NPC. But she came from Alaska and she didn't place. So just imagine the flight. Like, she flew all the way from Alaska and all this stuff, and then like, that's like $5,000.
Yeah.
The trip alone is probably $5,000.
Yeah.
We're not even including food. I'm talking about just flight to get there, the hotel, the layover, the blah blah blah, the eating at the airport. I gotta get this $20 for a coffee because I'm traveling.
It adds up.
It's like $5,000. So, and then even if you do win a show, ladies out there, the money for the ladies is a lot less than the men, too. So if that was a guy and he won and maybe got 20, 30, 40 grand, okay, he can cover the trip and this and that. But ladies, you may win Miss Olympia and you don't even make the same amount of money that you made if you worked a 9 to 5 at minimum wage.
This is true.
Like, it's true. It's getting to be that point. You know, if you think Mr. Olympia gets $500,000, $500,000, and Miss Olympia gets 40 grand.
Yep.
So it's always times 8.
Yeah.
So the guys are getting 8 times more. It's kind of like the NBA, WNBA, but, you know, we're going on to a whole nother thing. But basically, when you get into bodybuilding, don't just go because your coach said that. If you have a gut feeling that something's bad to take, look it up. Ask somebody else. Ask your doctor. I mean, these people, if you're going through HRT, TRT, and you're getting all this advice from your coach, you're listening to your coach more than you're listening to your TRT. Like, you're literally like, oh, my coach said to do this. But the doctor or the medical provider that I just saw said, don't do this. I'm going to go with the coach. But you're not going. Why not make your medical provider your coach? Like, listen to this. Do a show, right? Do a show. Ask the medical provider, hey, look, I'm doing a show. What do you recommend? Ask John. Ask me. What do you recommend? We'll put together a whole Titan thing with TRT, MK, IGF test, whatever you need. We'll put together a whole thing, and then you can be monitored. You have your own coach if you're dealing with a medical provider.
Right. A medical coach.
Like, you guys are spending all this money on these coaches. Why not just HRT alone? You'll have your blood work. You'll have someone you can call or text 727-389-3220.
Easy.
And you could do all that. You could be like, hey, you know, I got a little bit of a headache. Okay, well, we have you on this, this, and this. Everything should be fine. Are you drinking enough water? Like, that's the stuff
let's send you for some blood work maybe on this. Complete blood cell count. So make sure it's not too thick.
And the thing is, when you look at the price of HRT through Titan and a bodybuilding coach, it's like similar, or maybe
really
less.
It really is.
It may be less than if you're paying a coach. So
and you know what you're getting.
Yeah, so say if you're getting enclomiphene, testosterone cypionate, ECA, whatever. Like if you're getting those things, or anastrozole, whatever you need, if you're getting those things, that's probably the same or less than if you hire a bodybuilding coach.
It's true, dude.
And you're having medical supervision, and the difference with that is if you go through a medical provider and you just ask them the questions, they know that if they tell you something wrong, their ass is at stake. Yeah. Their job is at stake. The whole company. If a bodybuilding coach, God forbid, something happens, you die. Oh well.
It is.
Yeah. I told him it was dangerous. Oh, right. Well.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a nice little hack right there. So if you want to do a show, if you're not doing HRT the right way, you want to do HRT, do it through Titan. Ask us, ask me, what can I take to get ready for this show?
Shredding up.
And you literally have your own bodybuilding coach for the show.
Yeah, honestly, it really... I don't understand it where somebody comes to us to get blood work, and then we're like, hey, like, Meech just goes over the blood work. Like, our medical assistant will just give you the highlights of what's going on there. They didn't want that. Like, just email it, my coach is going to look at it. Like, your coach is not a medical provider. They might have some experience looking at some blood work, but that doesn't mean they can look at blood work and tell you exactly what's what or exactly what you need to do. Yeah. It really, some of them are guessing, or some of them like have learned half-ass shit or read on the internet, and then they just start spewing it out. I've seen it, I've heard it, and I'm just like, why would you put it for, why, I mean, they tell you to come in for blood work, right? Like, at least get the briefing of kind of what's going on. You don't have to even do an appointment. You don't have to get anything from us. But at that point, at least hear it out where, hey, listen, you might have some issues going on. Yeah. There was a guy came to us, and his renal failures, like his kidney functions were in the toilet. What does he do? He goes to his friend. His friend tells him to start taking stanozol, which is Winstrol.
Which is
extremely
even worse, taxing,
right? Guy's kidney functions got even worse. We had to call him and tell him, hey, because he did a recheck. Like, hey, he's like, my buddy told me this was gonna help though. Like, dude, what are you doing, and what are you taking this for? Like, you don't even know.
Do these people not have internet access?
He wasn't even a bodybuilder. He was just like a regular dude. Like, he was in the gym, like just working out. So it wasn't like a competitor or anything like that. And I'm like, it's one thing that you want to look your best and you're ready to go to like, extremes, I guess, to get it, but you got to be smart about it. Yeah. There's so many people that have done it for so long, and you got to respect them. I mean, Drew's one. I guess I'm in there. Yeah. Michael Hearn's in there. Some of these older guys that have been doing it for a long time, and Mike hasn't probably done a whole bunch of drugs. Maybe he has. I don't know. But at that point, there's a lot of people that I know that have done a lot of gear through a lot of years. And I look at their blood work, and they're still healthy. Yeah. One, because they didn't go crazy. They didn't go like it
took breaks too. A lot of guys don't take. Yeah, I know guys for 10 years they've never taken a break. They've never taken a week off of anything. 10 years, easy. Plenty of people, not even just like one or two. I know like a handful of people that will go 10 years, have never taken a break off of anything, and these are the same stubborn people that I'm like, basically like don't really not that close to anymore. Yeah. Because being at Titan is different. Yeah. Like I try to get my life and everything healthy. Yeah. But these are the same people like, oh, I'm not getting my blood work done. If I get my blood work done, I'm gonna know where it's at. I'm not gonna, almost like they don't want to know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, that's even crazier, guys, for sure. All right, so let's go into one of these questions here. It says, what drugs do you think LeBron is on for longevity?
Actually, I don't think LeBron's on anything illegal. So I mean, I'll say that for. I don't think I think he's too smart, or he has too much. I don't think he's taking anything illegal. But I just think he's getting literally every. I think he's a combination. I think LeBron James is kind of like a Michael Hearn. When you look at Michael Hearn, like 20 years ago, he looked the same. He was still shredded. He was lifting weights. He's actually looking better now, even leaner now. But he's kind of like got those rubbery tendons where he never gets injured. Like, what's going on? So I think it's a combination of that and him taking care of his body. Mm-hmm. I know his diet's on point. I know he doesn't do a lot of carbs. He basically does like a lot of I'm sure Gatorade stuff has carbs in it, but for the most part, he does low carbs. I know his treatments is like.
He does over $1 million in treatments a year.
Yeah, if you listen to his daily, it's like, when does he sleep? He's like, I'm going to run a mile and do this treatment, that treatment, and He's getting probably stem cell. Probably everything.
He's getting stem cells,
He's
PRP. So even for these guys that are in professional sports, some of them, if they get a doctor's note, they can actually do HRT. So it doesn't. I think that LeBron James legitimately is on TRT, and I think he's on growth hormone, just by some of the things that I've seen, just from him. Is his longevity great? His recovery, his plan is. I don't like LeBron James personally. I do give him credit for being a great basketball player because he is a good basketball player, and what he does for his body to recover.
I don't understand it. I've never in any sport I've never seen it.
No.
Like this year, he's averaging MVP numbers at 40 years old, and then 20 years ago,
he has been shooting good.
He's been 20. For 20 years, he's been the top player in the NBA.
Yeah. No.
Like, he's literally the best player in the NBA right now, playing with the best player, like having an MVP season, and he's 40 years old, and he's just like, and the thing with him is, like, if he's doing that good this year, then why not come back next year?
Right.
It's like he's slowly falling off. Like, when Jordan came back, it was like, oh, he's not the same. Or, certain people, they come back, they just can't do it. Even bodybuilding Kevin LeBron was like, he's just not the same. LeBron is almost like, he still can jump just as high. He's still just as fast. His three-point shooting's ridiculous. He's MVP. I've never seen anything like it. So whatever he's doing, I need the blueprint because I'm walking around sore. I'm walking around sore, banged up from all the years of grinding, pounding the gym. He's running around like a 19-year-old.
Bro, if you put $1 million in your body, you'd be looking like that and feel like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, guys. That is a lot of money.
$1 million a year?
Even if you did $10,000 of Titan products every month, that's only $120,000. $10,000 will get you quite a bundle of different things of what you can do.
He's doing about $80,000 worth of Titan stuff.
He's got to do like massage. He does PRP. He does cryo. He does stem cells. And probably shit that we're not even talking about. That we don't even know.
And he probably has stuff in his house, machines and everything, where he could just,
red light probably, cold plunge.
Hyperbaric chamber.
He's probably got
I know he has a hyperbaric. I know he has that.
So, listen, give credit to LeBron. He's been playing for a long time. He's obviously a good player. Is he the best player ever? No, Michael Jordan is. But that is what people debate every day.
I'm on LeBron now. This year, it's an easy win for me.
You know what I liked about Jordan, though?
When Jordan played, there was like 5 good players.
There wasn't any. Are you kidding me? I'll name them on my hand more than 5.
No, I'm talking about like real athletic players that compete with the guys today. There was no Giannis back then. There was no KD back then. There was no Steph back then. Like the good shooters back then were like Steve Kerr and like Mark Price.
People didn't shoot 3-pointers like that. Oh, no. What about Robert Horry? I can go on.
Robert Horry is trash.
Robert Horry was trash. That dude's got 5 rings.
He has 5 rings by chance. Listen, he has 5. Just because he has 5 rings doesn't mean he's good. If LeBron had 8 rings, they'd say, oh, well, he only has 8 because blah, blah, blah. Jordan has 6. Oh, he has 6. Robert Horry was unathletic, could shoot threes, and was long. Nowadays, I guarantee you, there's high school players that would dominate Robert Horry right now.
Maybe.
Cooper Flagg.
I didn't say Robert Horry was the best player.
Cooper Flagg is a better player than Robert Horry would ever be. He could shoot better. He could dribble better. He could pass better. He's a way better blocker. He's a chase down blocker. He just has more. He has more flair for the game. He's like Kevin Garnett. He's always upbeat. Come on,
these guys wouldn't be able to do what they're doing because they would get beat up on the court.
But that doesn't mean they were good players. That just means the defense. That means they weren't skilled enough to play correct defense where they had to foul. Now you have to have skill.
Skilled?
Yes. Back then,
you think they're more skilled today?
Way more.
I think there's legitimately some better players.
Anybody you could. There's NBA veterans, Charles Barkley, all these guys that know way more than us that are saying the same thing. It's not just me. Like there's real NBA veterans that have played in the league 20 years, NBA All-Stars.
There is nobody comparison to Shaquille O'Neal. As far as a center, right? There's nobody that's going to be a dominant force like him. Is there players bigger that have way better skills? Ball handling, shooting, absolutely. The game has totally changed. The game used to be...
That's like saying Bob Cousy is as good as Kyrie. No. Because back then he was the top and he used to dribble around with one hand doing all this and he was all-star and he won championship. That's like saying John Havlicek.
No, I'm saying nowadays...
Havlicek's got like 8-9 rings, right? That's like saying he's better than KD. John Havlicek would play at the YMCA in today's game.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him on the court though. I wouldn't say him like
even Bill Russell. Bill Russell has 11 rings. He could run and jump and shoot and all that. But now every team has an NBA center that could run just as fast.
No,
jump just as
that
high.
is the difference.
Yeah,
the difference.
So if Jordan is the only athletic player on the court, then obviously he could dominate, and that's all he did was score a bunch of points.
But he wasn't the only one. You're talking about Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. Come on, man.
Magic Johnson was not athletic.
Magic Johnson was athletic?
He was not.
He wasn't athletic?
When did you see Magic Johnson do some creative stuff, get up above the rim and chase? He was fundamental. He could play. He could dribble. He could pass. He was like Gary Payton.
Yeah,
he backs in. He doesn't. You don't see Magic Johnson come down, cross someone, go between legs, throw it off the glass, and do a windmill. He doesn't do all that.
No. I think it's more.
He's skilled. He's
I think
not
it's more
athletic.
show now, and it was more fundamentals back then. It's more show now and more fundamentals back then. You had more people that were fundamentally sound back then than they are today. The game has changed, and listen. It's not just us saying it right now. The viewing is down. People don't want to watch these guys. Did they want to watch games before? I watched every damn game before. Every game.
I think everything's down though too because of social media. You could just watch it whenever. Because I was the same way. Every week was like the games on football, baseball, basketball. Now it's just like, oh, it's on. I'll watch it later. Catch the highlights.
I don't think football's down though, is it?
I'm not sure.
I think football is. Actually
I used to watch football every week. Now I couldn't remember last time I watched the full game.
I watched like Super Bowl.
Like I watched the full highlights on YouTube, and that's about it.
It's a lot easier to do. Yeah. Thoughts on Mike Metzger's style of training? Go to failure, but only 3 days a week.
I like it.
I do too. I do too. I think it's great. I think the recovery factor there. Taking some days off obviously will help you recover, help you get stronger, help you get a better result. Yeah. I think you have to train your ass off of those 3 days though. It's got to be intense training.
I know for me, as I get older, that helps a lot with me because I look forward to the gym and just like what John said, like I know there's no tomorrow. Yeah. So I go hard, really hard. Yeah. When I go every single day, it's kind of like, oh, here we go again, going through the motions. But 3 days a week for me right now is perfect. So
I agree.
I go ham those 3 days. I go crazy those 3 days.
That's definitely the best thing to do. He said, in my job schedule, good for remote job where I'm sitting all day. Monday, chest and shoulders. Tuesday, cardio. Wednesday, legs and back. Thursday, cardio. Friday, biceps and triceps. That sounds good. It looks like good. Yeah, it looks really good. Take a multivitamin and probiotic. How old are you, Extra King? Have you had any blood work done? And also, if not, some different things that could probably ramp those things up. We've got some different therapies if you're looking for improving your conditioning, improving your pump, improving overall performance. We've got a lot of different things that can help you out there for sure. I'm listening to you, Sarah. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will start answering your questions on the side. Do we got any other ones?
Also, too, real quick, the Healing Factor combo, BPC 157, TB 500.
Yes.
2 therapies together, only 500 for both combined.
Yep.
That's a big saving like $100 or something on that. So, jump on that.
36 turning 37. Have you had blood work done? Because at that point, 36, 37, you should definitely get some blood work done, see where it's at. If you guys need help with any of this, Type Medical Centers nationwide. So wherever you're at in the United States, Type Medical Center is going to help you with blood work, hormone replacement, medical weight loss, vitamin amino acid injectables, rejuvenation detox, libido enhancers, peptides, anything you guys need, we're here for you guys. All you guys have to do is call or text.
And we service nationwide.
And nationwide, baby.
Nationwide. Everywhere. It. Now, I keep getting people, do we service Puerto Rico?
Yep.
So we do service Puerto Rico. So
Puerto Rico.
I had a conversation with someone yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I should know this.
Yep.
It's part of the U.S., but I don't know.
U.S. Virgin Islands,
U.S.
too.
Virgin. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to
do a post on that later on tonight.
Yeah, there was a patient that actually flew in, didn't have to.
Yeah.
Flew in from the U.S. Virgin Islands last week just to come to the office.
Wow.
Got his blood work done, flew out.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So super
Shout out
cool.
to the VI for doing that.
Seriously. Yeah, I mean, and so wherever you guys are at, we'll be happy to service you guys. More therapies are coming down the pipe. I'm starting to look at some different things where we can start incorporating some new things, and I think they're gonna be game changers, like always. I mean, I always looking for the biggest, baddest bad boys on the block.
Yeah, you gotta be tuned in every week. You gotta make sure you guys subscribe to the newsletter so you get updated on everything. Right.
Yeah.
Just when you think we have everything, another one comes, and then the next week another 2 come, and then the next 2 weeks another 3 come.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, what regulations are in place to ensure athlete safety in bodybuilding competitions? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
There are these supposedly natural ones where they test you and stuff like that. I want to give, I guess my statement to where if there are any promoters that are listening to this and you want to do something like that, Titan will work with you to be able to test the athletes beforehand. I'd make it very inexpensive just to run maybe 1-2 tests on them, and you can see right away, just with the free and total testosterone, where their levels are at. And I think this would give a fair competition for people that are in a natural show. Yeah. If they're in an unnatural show or enhanced show, then it is what it is. Yeah. You're going to get people, and there's nothing in place that's going to safeguard the health of these competitors. So you don't know if somebody's going to drop dead on stage or not. No. And I'm telling you, me and Drew have definitely seen people drop. So at that point, it's not fun. It's not cool. It's scary as shit. And you don't know if the person's going to die or not, Yeah,
when you're talking to someone, you see someone at show backstage or this and that, then all of a sudden 2 days later, you're like, what? I was just with that. I was just talking to her. I was just talking to him. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, it gets pretty bad. But yeah, shout out to the natural shows, too. I know there's one this weekend. A couple guys from the gym I've been training at going there, so good luck to them. But yeah, natural stuff. They tight, jump into some natural stuff. That'd be right set. Now, with natural athletes, I'm also going to go over I'm going to find out the list. I know the list is updated a lot, but I'm going to get that natural list, all the different federations, and go down the list and figure out stuff that we have here at Titan that's not on the list that you guys could benefit from or girls could benefit from. But that's one thing I haven't done. I want to see this list to see exactly what's banned and what's acceptable. From everything from creatine to testosterone, I want to know. So I'll get on tune with that and let you guys know, let you girls know.
Well, we do know that Hercules Potion, Titan Complete, Titan Ultra, those are not going to be banned.
Aminos.
Yeah, aminos and vitamins, man. Those are.
If you guys are loading up on crap powder BCAAs, come on over to Titan. We'll give you some real aminos, injectable, make you feel a lot better. And the pump is ridiculous on stage.
Absolutely.
With Hercules Potion.
Absolutely.
Definitely ridiculous. Yeah. No need to take red wine and Viagra and all that stuff backstage. We have Hercules. Hercules will do it.
Woo! And you can spot inject, site inject to the areas that you really want to hit too, which is great. And then overall too as well, but you have instant gratification in those areas that you might be struggling in.
Oh yeah. But 3 ml in the glutes is good to go. Your whole body's going to be nice. Whole body's going to be nice.
That is crazy. Crazy.
3 ml is not bad. It's aminos. It's not.
It's not a bad thing at all.
I'm saying 3 mLs of Hercules Potion or 3 cc's. I'm not saying 3 mLs of testosterone. So if people are going to watch this, I always have to say it. Big Drew said do 3 ml. No. I didn't. I said aminos. I did not say 3 mLs of testosterone. That would be like 3 weeks worth.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
No, but the amino acids, all I said is because, man, that pump must have been intense.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It gets crazy.
Yeah. Last show I did some Hercules, and it was like people were like, "What'd you do? What'd you do?" I was backstage. As soon as I came out of the bathroom, like, grab some rubber bands, a little pump, tempo. What'd you do? What'd you do? What'd you do? What'd you take? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
That's my secret.
I'll tell you after the show. I'm not going to tell you now for you to beat me.
All right. What role do influencers and online personalities play in promoting healthy habits and lifestyles? They play a major role, and that's the thing. That's a problem. Some are good, and some are really bad, and they're putting out information that they shouldn't be putting out. One, it might be incorrect information, might be false information, or it might be leading you down a path that you don't want to be going down. My big thing is just recently there's been an uptick, and we've been doing this 13 years now, uptick in these jack dudes, whoever they are, might be pros, might not be, whatever, the opening HRT companies, and then they're trying to pitch it online and saying, oh, well, listen, you can go get the black mark for 80, you go get 100 from us, that's all you got to get, and that's all they worry about. They're just selling you testosterone, just trying to sell you testosterone, instead of really worrying about true overall health, longevity, and quality of life, and getting it right by balancing hormones, not just putting testosterone in the tank and that's it. It's a quick sale, a quick buck, and people are just trying to get people jacked. I mean,
they're going to be around for a quick time too, because they don't last long.
No, for sure, like that, for sure. And they're not monitoring people correctly and everything like that. I'm really, really, it pisses me off. I ain't gonna lie. Like, we've been trying to do things right for a long time. I thought the industry was going to get really, really good and start being more compliant in that level, and I think it's took a little bit of turn for the worse in some of these different directions that all these fly-by-night people are coming up and popping up just because they can be online and then sell to an influencer. It is what it is, I guess. So you guys have to be smart about things and make sure people are credible in the information that you're getting from them.
Yeah, definitely not good. Also, don't be afraid to Google or actually call your doctor. too. So I mean, people listen to coaches, people in the gym, their friend, the influencer, the guy online, the guy on the YouTube video, but they don't listen to their doctor or their blood work.
So I have 2 topics. I guess the first one was the recent study between taking certain vitamins, exercising, and slowing down biological aging. So if you don't know what biological aging is, there's chronological aging and there's biological aging. Chronological aging is how many years you've been on this planet. So 44 for me, right? 44 years old. Biological age is actually what your body's age is. And your body's age could be a lot younger than what your chronological age is. And this can be determined by a test too as well. So it's not just, these 35, this just made that shit up.
Yeah.
It's not made up. So at that point, you can do this, and they do have studies now that are saying that certain things like vitamin D, exercise, fatty acids, like omega fatty acids, and other things can help along with this. So this is where preventative care really comes into play and really giving your body what it needs instead of deficiencies. Deficiencies is your body lacking things and not being able to perform optimally or not doing its best. It has to look for different sources to get some of these deficiencies out of there to fill the gap. So at that point, give your body what it needs. If you don't know what it needs, that's where blood testing comes into play. It's not even just hormones. We can blood test every amino acid in your body, every non-essential and essential. If you want to start testing different vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin E, we can go through a whole list. But I think that being able to take some good supplementation will be able to put you on the good side of things and make sure that you're getting everything you need, along with your nutrition.
Yeah, especially if you're deficient in vitamin D or D3, that's going to help a lot with your muscle building.
Big time.
Definitely helps with that too.
Big time. Next one was about the Nike commercial. So, if you guys didn't see last night, President Trump, and I'm not being political here, he signed an executive order making March Women's History Month. So today is Women's Day. I didn't know that until today, and all the girls asked me, "Where is my Women's Day present for today?"
Another opportunity. How many women's? Okay, for me.
So by Women's History Month, that's fine. I'm totally for it. And I told all the girls here, they're having an assignment over the weekend. They're going to come in next week, and they're going to tell me one woman that has done something exponential for mankind. Right?
I got one.
Right? So
what came in my head right away.
Right. So whether it was Earnhardt with the plane, Amelia Earnhardt that flew, I think she flew around the world. There's other ones, right?
Rosa Parks,
that was a huge one. There is a lot of women that have done a lot of great things for this country. So I'm not mad about that, what he did. I think it's good, right? But at that point, what my topic is in this is the Nike commercial that was played on the Super Bowl. I love Nike. Obviously, I have Nike shirts that I made for Titan. I wear Nike. I have Nike pants on right now. What I didn't like is I don't like the trans athlete thing of boys competing in girl sports. I think this is wrong. It's definitely wrong, okay? They shouldn't be doing it. There's all kinds of situations where trans athletes, males being females, have hurt females on the court in basketball, volleyball. I'm talking about putting them into comas.
MMA, the girl had a fractured skull
right? Yeah. So this is just not fair. This is not right. But the Nike commercial was on the Super Bowl. If you guys didn't get to see it, had Caitlin Clark, had all these women that have done exponentially big things. But it was basically about how women don't get the love like guys do, and then they need to demand it. But the whole thing about it is Nike backs trans athletes from females into males. Yeah. That's what I don't like. I do not like that one bit. So did I like that commercial? Hell no, I didn't like that commercial. I seen it got brought up again because there are some women activists now that are not liking this commercial because they're basically you're saying that women should have empowerment, but you're also saying that men should be able to infiltrate women's sports. Yeah. It's not right. So I just wanted to bring this up, or what you guys thought about it. If you guys think that's right or wrong. I think most people think it is wrong, but it's just something that our platform's out here. Nike's doing it, so I want to make sure that we bring this hypocrisy up, I guess.
I'm not good. I'm not good with that with Nike. They
I'm not good with that. They need to fix that for sure.
Is it going to take someone dying before they realize? Is it going to take an MMA fight or some type of physical sport where there's a former male, now female, that kills someone.
Yeah, I don't even think they'll stop at that point.
They probably wouldn't, because if a woman had her skull fractured over a transvestite that was formerly a man acting as a woman, acting, keyword acting.
Yep.
It's I don't agree with it. And they could do their own thing. I don't understand why they don't. Like, there's so many. It's being such broad now. You see it everywhere. You see kids. You see it in schools. Like, there's middle school kids that see trans students and their fellow students all the time. When I was in school, there wasn't anybody that was even gay, or if they were gay, they didn't identify as gay. You can kind of tell whatever. He's still cool, whatever, but he's not like saying yes, I'm this and I'm that. So now it's like, it's getting bad. It's almost like, 30, 40 years from now, kids that are kids now, they're going to have no idea of what it like really should be.
Right.
Like it's gonna slowly turn into that. You're gonna have like, I have two moms, or you're gonna have. I've seen now where they have like, the woman was formerly a man and the man was formerly a woman, and now they're getting married. Like that's just mental health 101. Like,
that is crazy.
Like there's a severe error in some severe error right there. Like what? That's craziness.
For real. It's
I don't
big
know.
Time.
You like what you like, but people can do what they want to do in the privacy of their own homes. But when it comes to competing against other people, that's ridiculous.
Especially kids.
And when it comes to public restrooms, that's ridiculous.
Yep.
I've seen videos of guys going into the bathroom and, ripping some guy out of the women's bathroom that's dressed as a woman because their daughter's in there.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't blame the guy.
No. Absolutely
if you're a dad and you see your daughter walk into a park bathroom, then all of a sudden you see a man dressed as a woman walk right in. They're the only two in there? Come on now.
No, it's a problem, guys. It definitely is.
Yeah, let the streets take care of them.
And you know what the funny thing was? Is there was a bill that was put forth by a woman, and there wasn't one person on the Democratic Party that voted for boys not being able to be into girl sports. So it didn't pass. Luckily, it was an executive order by Trump. But at that point, like I said, I'm not trying to get political, but I do think that this is a subject that needs to be brought up and needs to be like full head on. And it needs to be passed in Congress that boys should not be participating in women's sports.
There's somebody in the WNBA right now that used to be a man that still has male parts.
No way.
You can look it up right now. I don't know, Brian, you might be able to look it up right now.
Whoa. Yes. Are you serious?
Yes, you can look it up right now.
How unfair is that?
You can look it up right now. I saw this article a few months back.
Joanna Drew, man. I'm going to get Drew a contract, man. Might as well, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, if you could look it up, I could see her face. I could see what she looks like, but I can't think of the name. But I remember I was like, "There's no way," and they were like, "Yeah, it's like it was either volleyball or basketball. Yeah, it was something. Wow, it was a professional sport that's there right now." So, and then I know there was a track athlete that was formerly
I seen that
from New England somewhere, New Hampshire or Boston, somewhere up there, and there she is. That's a man. Openly trans player signs with new team after being dropped. WNBA's first openly. So we have Joanna, man. It happened. Like it's happened. If you scroll down a little bit.
This was in 2021. Holy shit.
If you scroll down a little bit, so you could actually see. Wow. New York Liberty picked her up. WNBA's first openly trans player. She joined the league 2013. Her ninth season. So back in 2013, when it wasn't as out there and known, so it probably wasn't even like people weren't even thinking of it like that now. So she played 9 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the thing is she was trash. Whatever. She was trash.
Couldn't beat girls.
Only saw 3 minutes of playing time in the first 3 games, 2021, and then strained. I'm gonna say his ACL.
Oh my God, yeah.
And was out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So you do all that, you make it to the WNBA, and you can't even like play. You're not even good enough to make the team. But it's happened now. When I see that, I think who else is in the WNBA like that? There's a lot of speculation with Brittany Griner just because of her voice is so deep.
He looks like a dude.
Her voice is so deep. Her voice has been deep since she's been 15. She's been 6'8", dunking a basketball since she was 15. I follow high school sports a lot. She was out of Texas, Dallas area. Her voice was like that at 15, dunking 6'8". We've never seen a woman dunk like that. We've never seen a woman's voice like that. So now if she isn't, she isn't. It sucks the thing that she had to go through in Russia. But hey, I mean, we need to start. Like, I want to know now.
Yeah.
Now that I've seen this, I'm looking at track athletes. I'm looking at volleyball.
Yeah.
Like now, I want to really know. Like, I mean, that's a shame. It literally is a shame.
That's crazy, man. I didn't know this.
Yeah. Joanna man really exists. Yeah, we got a time limit now.
All right. What else we got here? Build muscle. Is it same as TRT? TRT can help build muscle, yes, for sure. But we have other different things that will help build muscle too as well. Which brings me to this right now. I'll let you guys in on the secret. Therapy of the week next week is 10% off any of our muscle building therapies.
MK.
Testosterone, CJC, IGF-1. There's a good list there.
You guys could save over $100 too on the IGF high dose.
Yep.
You're saving over $100 with that 10%.
Yeah, so you guys get that for sure. It's definitely going to be good. How do peptides support collagen production and improve skin elasticity? Well, there's certain ones that will help quite a bit and some that will help a little bit. So when we talk about CJC or testosterone or any of these GHRHs, that will help support collagen production and improve skin elasticity. But if you talk about AOD, AOD is specifically a collagen-producing peptide and will help with skin and remodeling the skin too as well, wrinkles, marks, or anything like that too. So if you're looking for something like that, AOD might be the way to go. All right. Thank you. I appreciate Joanne. Thanks. What else we got here? We got events coming up. We got Tampa Pro coming.
Tampa Pro's coming.
We got Hurricane Pro coming.
Hurricane Pro.
And then we're working on a couple other events for you guys. Some different events, not bodybuilding events, but I've got some different things in the works. I just don't want to jinx it. So let me lock it down. And at that point, when I have it locked down, I'll bring it out to you guys. And we will start having some good events coming. I know Drew got to work out. Mike was here for my birthday. They got to get a good workout in. I know he's going to come back here soon. And we're all going to get some workouts in and create some cool content for you guys too as well. Got a lot of things in the pipeline.
Nice.
Super excited.
Nice. Tim Gardner, Tampa Pro, Hurricane Pro. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Every year is a good
Titanmedical Tampa Pro. And this year I'm trying to do some different things for us. Like maybe a seminar or something like that where we can lead that. I mean, I think it would be really good. So
that'd be good.
Yeah. Good. I think that's it.
That's pretty much it for today. We'll be back next week. If you're notified on YouTube, that means you hit the bell. Also subscribe. Check out the podcast, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. We'll be right back next week for Titan Lifestyle. Big Drew and John.